each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
The views and opinions expressed on Trudging Together are solely those of the host, co-host, and our guests. They do not necessarily reflect the views of any organization, fellowship, or other entity, and definitely not your boss, your neighbor, or that one guy in your home group. The content of this program is not intended to replace medical, psychological, or professional advice. If you're looking for that, please seek guidance from qualified professionals who spent way too many years in school. What you'll hear here is based on lived experience, recovery journeys, and the occasional bad coffee-fueled joke. Trudging Together is not affiliated with any 12-step fellowship. We are simply people sharing our stories and walking this path together, one day at a time. Thank you for joining us, and remember, recovery is serious business, but that doesn't mean we can't laugh along the way.
Great timing. Just got done with my song. I mean, literally, it just ended. Little Sanitarium. It's a song, yeah. I used to play it a lot when my parents locked me up. It describes pretty much everything I was going through. I used to write it on the walls. I'd write the whole song out on the walls. Yeah. Staff didn't appreciate that much. What are they going to do? Lock me up? Throw away the key? What were they going to do? Make me paint it? There was nothing they could do about it, and they knew it. It's kind of a dick. Good old Sanitarium. Fear of living on. Natives getting restless now. Mutiny in the air. Got some death to do. All right. Codependency. Codependency. Gonna be a fun one. All right. All right. Let's talk. Should we talk about anything first? Day counting. Let's talk about day counting. Now, I think it's awesome that you're sober. I think it's fantastic that you decided to have a different life. I really am. I'm happy for you. Right. Now, this is a matter of picking gifts. Right. Now, if you want to day count, you go for it. You go for it. I'm not going to stop you. But if anything really meaningful in your life, you're not going to get much because you're going to be focused on the fact that you have 1,273 days, which isn't an even number at all. So a lot of people in the program of OCD. Now, when you have like 100 days, 1,000 days, 10,000, I kind of get it. It's a number that kind of needs to be shared. Yes. Okay. I'll even go for the 2,000, even though it doesn't quite qualify. But some of these numbers, they could be pretty big number. Even 5,000, I'd probably be okay with, right? Because I understand OCD. But when we post our days every day, when we memorize how much time we have every day, what happens is that becomes our success. Okay. Now, is time success in recovery? Kinda, but not really. All we get is a daily reprieve. It is contingent on what you're doing today. Okay, I've been sober for a little over 9 years. It's all over with. It's done. It's already been my 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 6 months, 9 months, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. They've all been celebrated. Yeah. I went to my home group. They're like, yay, Dion, good job. People around me tell me, good job. We're proud of you. Okay. From there, I don't need it anymore. I have no, I could probably, I don't know if I have my date in everything AA or not. Let's go look. Oh man, I didn't mean to. Oh, that's all right. I do have it in there. Man, that's a lot of days. But nothing. I have 9 years, 7 months, and 13 days, or 3,514 days. Or it could just be Saturday, even though my mind keeps thinking it's Thursday again. All right? Even though my mind thinks it's Thursday. All right. So, and Amber, you kind of missed it. Good to see you. And good morning, Michelle, if I didn't say hi. Now, like I was saying, if you want to celebrate 1,000, 5,000, 10, those types of things, I get it. But should I really be celebrating 3,467 days? I didn't put it to memory. I don't know. Okay. Should I? Or should I go out and do something that's going to make the world a better place? This is the same concept of gratitude or being grateful. You can either be grateful for what you have, or you can have gratitude from a job well done. There you go. There you go. All right. Now I'm gonna have to use. Oh man, I kind of have to use my phone, but I'm using my phone for something else. Let me do this then, if you will allow me. I'm just gonna put what I have on my phone on my computer here real quick. All right. Now we can go do this. Because you know what time it is. Then we're going to do this. See, I have a little trick. It's called the Alt Tab. What I do is I just Alt Tab between stuff. All right. All right. Now I'm back at looking at what I need to look at. I use it all the time. I use Alt Tab and Control C a lot. A lot. All right. 300 of the best hilarious dad jokes. We're going to go to fresh dad jokes today. We're going to scroll down quite a ways because we've done a lot of these. All right. Are you ready? Are you ready for today's daily funnies? Dion's daily funnies. Here we go. What did the mother broom say to the baby broom? Time to go sweep. Is it really though? Is it really time to go sweep? All right. The other day I was attacked by a bunch of circus clowns in the parking lot. I won though, because I went right for the jugular. Juggler. Right for the juggler. See, my brain doesn't, it had to put the right word in there. Maybe it's all the violence. I'd like to shout out sidewalks for keeping me off the streets. that was a good one. That's what I like. How many ears does Captain Kirk have? 3. The left ear, the right ear, and the final frontier. That one was bad. Oh man, welcome to Daily Trudge. My name is Dion. I'm your host. If you haven't noticed, I put my drum set up. There it is. You can make comments if you want. It's an electronic drum set. Took me a while to put it together. I forgot. And then there were some broken parts, so I had to. I'm so glad that I grew up as a Gen Xer because, I don't think, I had to figure out how to fix it. And we Gen Xers are the first thing that came out was, do we need duct tape? I'm like, I don't think duct tape's going to solve this one. But I'm going to tell you what I did. Okay. This part over here is a whole new set. I had to create a frame and put this on it and do that. That's what that noise was, you jerk. One of my cats stood on one of the pads and now it's downwards. I can't trust the cats around that thing. All right. If you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. I'm going to do a quick little plug for Take 12 Radio, which is going to be this Monday. The topic is, have we been falling asleep? We're talking about becoming complacent, lazy, or stuck in our recovery. That's going to be a lot of fun. I can tell you right now, I know these guys well enough. That's going to be a lot of fun. And Dion's very opinionated when it comes to it. And I'm sure Monty's just going to love that. Every time he introduces me to somebody, he's like, "You want to know why I have Dion on the show? Because he's opinionated." We all are. It's kind of okay. Everybody on the show, that's why you do radio, because you're opinionated, man. And you got a radio voice. I got both of those in spades, my friends. Codependency. Is it good? Is it bad? It's both. It only depends on how it's utilized, like pretty much everything else. Do alcoholics have codependency issues? What's the right way? So, and why am I bringing this topic up? Because codependency is not something we usually talk about in our rooms. And we should. We should be talking about codependency and detachment and things like that. We really should. Because do alcoholics have, if you have an alcoholic who has completed the program, they are going to have some codependency issues. Yes. And they'll come in one or two extremes where you're way too hands off because you don't want to do anything, or you tell people what to do. Codependency is telling people what to do. Oh, well, you've got to do this and you've got to do that. Okay. Now, I'm not talking about the contact me each day. That goes to accountability. All right. But, oh, you shouldn't be on that med, giving relationship advice, things like that. That is codependency. And it's very, very clear. All right. So, yes, you had some codependency issues even when you were drinking, but codependency in and of itself is an entirely different mental illness. Codependency is a mental illness. And I see a lot of people now, people are going after Al Anon. So that's kind of why this came up. They're like, I married my husband and he was an alcoholic and it's his fault I'm like this. I'm going to tell you something now. No, you were sick way before you met the alcoholic. You got sick from being in your own family. That's where codependency starts. You are either the lost child or the hero. Depends. Were you social or were you not social? Either way, you're still codependent. It started before that happened. Now, that doesn't mean I'm defending the alcoholic. Nope, absolutely not. Both these people are wrong. And when you put them together, man, it was murder. Name that show. Name that show. But when you put them together, it was murder. I'll be surprised if anybody catches it because I don't think I'm doing the voice quite right. It's close though. And I don't remember the rest of the TV show from the 80s. From the 80s. Had the $1 Million Man in it. All right. I'll give people a couple minutes to come up with that one. I have a feeling Michelle's going to know. Amber's a little too young, but she might know. She surprises me often with the music. So, all right, with a lot of stuff. So, who knows? This crowd. Oh no, I think everybody that tends to hang out with me, we're all old souls. I'm a very old soul, man. So are you? If you and I connect, this isn't my first time around, man. This is not my first time around. You know. Anyway, we're not, that might be a good topic for. So let's kind of talk about this a little bit. So codependency has no good aspects. Okay, now this is what I asked. It said, give me a breakdown of codependency, good and bad. And it straight out told me there are no good aspects to codependency. Well, fuck. I was trying to find some good ones, and I'm still going to try. I don't know, just because Google's saying that doesn't mean that it's true. Okay, it used to mean that it might be true. This is for your information uses only. Remember what the internet is, right? So, but its bad aspects include lack of boundaries, low self-esteem, and enabling a loved one's unhealthy behaviors, which can harm both individuals. While it may seem like a way to help, it's actually a one-sided dynamic where one person constantly gives the other, sacrificing their own needs for someone who may be dealing with addiction, mental health issues, or other destructive patterns. Now, let me tell you something. As in reincarnated, not your first time around. If you want to call it reincarnation, sure. Absolutely. Call it what you want. I also believe in ghosts. I believe in spirits. I believe in God. I believe in the devil. I do. I believe in it. But I don't say a lot of it because I don't want people to start calling me Christian and religious because, yeah, that'll just fucking piss me off. And now somebody's going to say it because they like to fuck with me. Amber says, one of my past lives, I died at 27 in the late 70s. I don't know where mine came. I was born 4 hours after Jimi Hendrix died. I am not reincarnated Jimi Hendrix. I am not. So Jimmy was a drummer first, but trust me, I am not. Well, who knows? I might be. I doubt it, though. I doubt it. I think my mind just wants to think that. By the way, the name of the TV show was called Heart to Heart. Okay. All right. Nobody guessed it. I brought up reincarnation. Everybody jumped on that topic. So, codependency starts way before they meet the alcoholic. In fact, the codependent met the alcoholic because they are alcoholic. They're both spiritually sick, and these two attract each other. And what do? They like to wallow in their misery together. Yes, they do. The codependent is extremely, extremely controlling. You ever seen the Al-Anon handshake? There it is. There's a reason that I'm shaking my finger at you, my hand and my finger, right? Oh, you're a nag. You're this, you're that. And what do they think this is? What do they think it is? They think it's love because that's what they were taught in their alcoholic family. The alcoholic's not the only sick one. Okay, let me put it this way. It takes a group of people to create an alcoholic. It takes a group of people to help an alcoholic. It works both ways, right? Now, sometimes it might be they feel like they're protecting. They're not always over controlling. My wife wasn't over controlling. She knew if she tried to control me, I'd just walk out the door. I'd leave in the beginning. Yeah. After a few years, no way I would have walked out the door. That's when I became dependent upon her, right? And her codependency was more of letting Dion have whatever it kind of wanted. And I abused it. I knew. You bet your ass I knew. I know all about codependency. Somebody that would take care of me. Well, thank God for Al-Anon. Yes, thank God for Al-Anon. Right? My wife was able to find some boundaries, help me out. She doesn't go to Al-Anon anymore. I'm not the person I used to be. And she's not the person she used to be. Yeah. She said she didn't really like going because they don't like the way that they talk about other people sometimes. Not all the time. I doubt, they are not getting together and talking about us. I tell you that. They might a little bit. But no, they're doing their own inventory and everything. They're talking about themselves because they realize that they are just spiritually sick, right? So, enabling unhealthy behaviors. You may unintentionally support a partner's destructive habits like substance abuse. All right. Now, they know they're doing it. Kinda. Well, denial is it's a main attribute of anybody that's in an alcoholic family. Everybody has some sort of denial. So that they may not know, they may not realize that they're doing it. Why? Because that's what, okay. So the person that became the alcoholic followed the alcoholic's lead in the family that they grew up in. Maybe you were in a house. Maybe you were in a household where there was no drinking allowed. This is the other extreme of alcoholism, which is codependency. I don't drink. I don't do this because my father was a drinker, because my mother was a drinker. It destroyed our family. Well, it's great, but alcohol was the solution. And just because you removed alcohol does not mean everything is better now, even for the person who did not drink. That is not, no. You still need to go do the work. Every person that grew up in the alcoholic family is spiritually sick. Would I say 100% of the time? No. But I could say nearly every. Absolutely. All right. And so the person's drinking continues going on. Well, he can't make it into work today. He's sick. They provide excuses. They'll even make the phone calls for us and stuff. They'll come up with, oh, he couldn't make it to the funeral today. He's just not feeling well. You know what my family started doing? They just stopped asking. Loss of self. You can lose yourself in the sense of self-prioritizing, right? Lack of boundaries, low self-esteem. Here's the big one. Every single one of you thought you were the only one. Fear of abandonment. Now, do you believe that you might have codependency? Alcoholic? Have you ever been trying to help somebody and it was just too fucking heartbreaking? Yeah. I do not get emotionally attached to people very quickly. I can't, because if I do and they go out, I feel like shit. Now I know it's not because of me. I know that. Okay. But there's a fallacy too. Can you see where it's like, oh, they went out, that's on me. Now, the people that run around thinking, here's the other problem. People tend to think that they can get other people sober and they can't. I can't get anybody sober. I don't have the capability. I couldn't even get myself sober. Right? I had to, it took a group of people and my higher power. And it took a while because I was addicted to alcohol. Right? So fear of abandonment, resentment. See, girls usually marry their daddies and guys usually marry their moms. Personality types. See? It always patterns don't lie. But you can change the pattern. That you can do. Codependency is one of those things, was one of those generational curses that can be broken. It can, if it's done at an early age. Okay. It's got to be done at an early age. In my case, I was not the one that broke the codependency. Yeah, that would be my kids. They saw that, taught them. They're the ones that broke the codependency. In our case, no. Now we help them get to that, saying we need to break this now. This is not something that's healthy for this family. So now the codependency generational curse has been broken in my family. Now, why was that? Because I decided to get sober. That was one reason. What was another reason? They decided to become healthier people. And that didn't have to do with me. Well, maybe it kind of did. Okay. But the real reason that they changed is because they wanted to. Right. Now, they could have changed even without me sobering up. But me sobering up helped it move along quicker. Right? Because since I confronted my past, sometimes my kids are doing something and I'll tell them, you remember when dad did this, this, and this? Yeah. Remember how it didn't work? Yeah, you're right. And now I get to use that as an example. But I don't need to feel guilty about it anymore. So, mental and emotional distress. Going to be a lot of emotional distress. It's not bringing up anything spiritual here. So we'll kind of we'll get into that. We'll dig into that a little bit. So what codependency is not? It is not interdependence. Healthy relationships are a form of interdependence where both partners support each other while maintaining their own identities and boundaries. Codependency is dysfunctional, one sided, imbalanced. Now, that's where my wife and I are at. We are at interdependence, right? For a long time. And this happened with my PTSD too, but I needed help. That when it came to the PTSD, that was not a mental illness where cutting people off is the way that you go. Um, if I would have treated my alcoholism or my PTSD like I did my alcoholism, I'd be dead. I would have killed myself. It would have been too much. I wouldn't have been able to do it. If everybody would have abandoned me during that, yeah, I would have just taken my car, drove it off a cliff. Woof. Whee! Boom. Now, my wife works her program. I work my program. I take care of my stuff. She still helps me out every now and again. She's out and about. She might pick me up some ice, things like that. But if I can't go somewhere and I need to tell people, she doesn't do that part for me anymore. I take care of it. If there's something that needs to be done and I can take care of it, I take care of it. Sometimes I do need her help, but I don't make her do the whole thing. All right. Amber says I used to be codependent with boyfriends before I got sober. I believe it. Even as an alcoholic, you can be codependent to your own partner who is not drinking. Or maybe you have two alcoholics. Let's say you have two people that are alcoholic. Both these people we're talking about, man, that's like double downing on bad spirituality. I've been in relationships where the other person was an alcoholic also. It became violent. Yeah. And I'm going to tell you now, it took about 8 times of her hitting me before I finally slapped her across her face. I did, and I still don't regret it. I don't. You hit me long enough, I'm going to hit you back. Sorry. Right? No, it is not okay for a girl to walk up to a man, hit him, and not expect any reprise. I'm sorry, but the answer is no. Now, most men are going to be like, I'm like that. You're going to have to really do a lot. You spit in my face, though, I'm going to kick you in your crotch. Yeah. Yeah. I don't fuck who you are. Don't spit in people's faces, man. That means everything's off the table. All right. You're finding out a little bit more about Deanna. And she says, and it happened a little in sobriety now, not now that I'm in recovery. Yeah, and we might. The thing is, we're not going to catch everything at once. You may go 5-6 years and be like, man, I'm being a little codependent in this area, and you can change it. You don't need to beat up on yourself. You just make the change, right? You're not going to catch everything in that 4th and 5th step. All we ask is that we do the best that we can with what we have at the present moment, right? And then Amber continues to say, it got so bad in my worst alcoholism when I was 21 and wouldn't even drive. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we become physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually dependent on other people. And then come the demands because they're not doing it the way that we want them to do it, even though we're the ones that are supposed to be doing it. There's one of the oxymorons of, right? So interdependence, both sides are healthy, 50-50 relationship. Being supportive, a supportive relationship is not the same as codependency. True support means encouraging your partner to solve their own problems and grow rather than solving them for them. Not only that, but that person probably doesn't have the answer to your problem anyway. There's only one person in this whole wide world who can take care of your problems. It's you. You are that person. Now, do we do it alone? No, we do not. We do it together. So I needed a guide. I needed somebody who knew, who was like me, but solved the drink problem. That was the key to all of this. Now, I tell you right now, neither one of my sponsors were codependent. In fact, they were quite the opposite. Dion, I don't want to hear from you all the time. I'm not kidding. He said this stuff. He's like, I don't, he didn't make me text him every night. He didn't do that. He left me on my own. He said, we're going to meet once a week. Your job is to stay sober, go to meetings, and breathe in and out. It's your only job right now. You don't need to do anything else. If you get squirrely, I gave you a list of things to do. It's called your honey to-do list. Go clean the kitchen. Go pick up the dog. See, these simple, straightforward things in the very beginning that help us, even if it's just a little bit, just a little bit, just a little bit. Amber says, I think couples therapy, me doing the steps, and my own therapy were the key changing factors. I would agree. You just became a better example, nicer person to be around. Oh, maybe have a little bit of fun in life. Yeah. And then what does that do? Well, that relieves your partner from having to cover for you, and then they can get more stuff done, and they can have a better life. So that when you do spend time together, it's worth it. Every Friday night, Shannon and I, we do date night every Friday night. And sometimes we have grandkids, so we need to switch it to Sunday night or something. But every week we have a date night. And we do the same thing. We hang out. We watch. Right now we're finishing Better Call Saul. We watch things that, that we enjoy. All right. After this, we're going to watch a show called Wayward. It's a short little series. Because, we're just a little bit older and we like to guess what's going on. And we do our little yacky yaks. Yeah. It's just hanging out, Anyway. So, what codependency actually is, needing someone to be okay so you feel okay. Now, here's the thing is, now this is how I know I have codependency problems, and I still have them. If my wife is not doing okay, I am not okay. I don't know why. I'm very tied to her. Honey, are you okay? Yeah, I'm all right. You're lying. I know she's lying to me. I know. I can feel it. But a lot of times it's just I'm tired. I'm not, She might even say, it's not anything I really want to talk about right now. At that point, I need to back off. Okay. Because we alcoholics got to be careful because we go from the scrap heap of life and we think we need to go this entire way back to where now we're going to save everybody. We think we have all the answers. You see it all the time. And they think they have all the answers. No, we need to be here in the middle. We need to be here in the middle. These are two extremes. And if you bring them together in the middle, where are you at? All right. Taking responsibility for someone's emotions. And here's the big one, I'll be able to fix them. That is something, that is the difference. Okay. I don't want to say that's the difference. Well, it kind of is, though. That was something that my wife knew before we got married. She knew she couldn't fix me. Because the first time we got together, I was young, and she went to Al-Anon. And she knew she couldn't fix me. She knew that, and she didn't try. And you know what happened? My alcoholism progressed really, really quickly because though I didn't have a codependent in my life to interfere with it. So it progressed very, very quickly. And she would tell me things like, I know the sober Dion, so I'm just going to wait for him to come back. I'm just going to love you until that happens. She wasn't mean about it. I couldn't get mad at her about it. At the end, it was, Deanna, I love you, but if you're drinking, I don't want to be around you. I used to love being around you all the time, but when you're drinking, I don't like being around you. What could I do to that? Those are the things that got me to sobriety. And what are those? Those are firm boundaries. It's detachment. And it sucks. We don't want to detach from the people that we love. So, how does it form? Well, growing up in chaos, addiction, the family, walking on eggshells, learning to survive by pleasing, rescuing, or controlling, because that is what you were taught. When I was 14 years old and my parents sat me down and said, Dion, why are you so angry? And why are you punching holes in the walls? I told them why I was angry. It was because I had felt like I had brought the kids up, that I had raised the kids, and they all of a sudden wanted to take over and not even a thank you. And they said, why are you punching holes in the wall? And I pointed at the man who raised me. I said, he's the one who taught me how to do that. A week later, they put me away. What did it say? Dion, you're not worth our time anymore. It hurt. To this day, it still hurts. Thinking that, I just wasn't worth it. That's why I'm not sure that we actually do pick our parents. Because I don't think I would have gone this route. I don't. All right. And if we do pick our parents, then yeah, I'm gonna keep it at that. Hey man. I've tried too. How does codependency show up? Trying to manage other people's recovery, trying to keep the peace, like sacrificing your own peace to keep the peace, feeling guilty for setting boundaries, mistaking pain for connection. Right? What is it? That one, yeah, you see the videos. I'm 30 days sober. I'm getting sober. I've got the, you know, where they're showing their recovery from or they're sobering up from day one, and they're showing the pain. In fact, the Daily Trudge started out that way. That's how I know, because I made the mistake in the very beginning. And finally, somebody said to me, Dion, you got to stop being the poster child for mental illness. It's keeping you sick. They were right. I was keeping myself sick by doing that. I had to move forward. So I stopped doing it. Stopped doing it that way. Because it started out as a way to help people understand what PTSD was. And it turned into the daily reflection. And then it turned into the daily trudge. It's been through a lot. But trying to manage other people's recovery, I see it all over the place right now. Why is it dangerous? Is because you lose yourself and then you're going to start resenting the people that you're trying to save. You can't save anyone. I can't save anyone. I can be a healer, but even then, I can't heal. I can't help you heal until you want to heal. I can't just wave my hands and, oh, you are healed by the power of Jesus Christ and the power and sanctity of me. You are healed. Oh, nope. So, how do we do it? Detachment with love, boundaries without apologies. No is a full sentence and a valid answer. No. Like yesterday, Dion, are you willing to chair? Nope. My meeting. In fact, my therapist told me I need to back off on that stuff. So I ain't doing it. Somebody's going to have to pick it up, or we're going to sit there and stare at each other for an hour. I'll end up doing it. If it's like the last, because it needs to happen. And I don't want to waste everybody's time. Right. So just using an example. Letting people feel their own feelings, focusing on your own spiritual conditioning, and allowing adults to be adults. All right. So, in closing here, loving someone doesn't mean carrying them. Healing starts when we let others walk their own path and we walk ours. Now, thankfully, we are walking the same path. Yep. It's down, it's dirty, it's grimy. We're gonna have to move things out of our way, but they're gonna be like rocks where it's gonna take 2 or 3 people to move these things. And what are we doing? Well, we're clearing the path a little bit for the next person. Okay. But alcoholics in recovery are walking the path less traveled. There's not many people on the path that I'm on. But the ones that are there, I love the fuck out of you. All right. Thank you everybody for being here. I appreciate it. I love you. Don't be a codependent. Okay. Just like everything else, you have to be aware that you have codependency. Then you need to accept that you have codependency, and then you need to put action into it. Just like everything else. I love you. You know I do. Peace out.